But what is motivating her is her picture in her mind of her mother who passed away a couple years ago in her 80s, who was so frail and sick that she just basically just wasted away. Now, that sounds very depressing, doesn't it? However, my client was thinking in her brain, I don't want to be that. I want to be strong. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Honeycast. Today, I'm talking about the very elusive motivation. I think it's elusive. When we aren't motivated, when we lose our mojo, and this does happen to everyone, and I will say that you can still stay on your health journey and you don't even have to be motivated. That was great news. I heard that from my coach. She said, you know what? I'm not motivated all the time, but I still show up for myself. And that's what I want to talk about today. But just knowing that you don't have to wait for motivation, but you can still make great choices, that's power. And I'm always looking for, where is the power that I have? I guess I'm somewhat of a control freak. And so, of course, I would want to control everything, but I can't. And I've stressed myself out way too long trying to do that. And what I've learned now is, okay, I have a piece. I have a partnership here. What is the control? What is the power that I have? When I'm doing everything that I can do, then that feels good. I feel integrity with myself. I feel like, yeah, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm leaving the results up to, I'm going to say, my creator, but we still don't have to have that motivation. Now, you can create motivation. So that's a whole different podcast. You can actually create motivation, but it's work sometimes. And sometimes I just don't want to do that work. So here's what I do. I will say, okay, we're not motivated here. That is okay. What can I do next? So I'm going to give you some tips, some things that help me and have helped lots of my clients. All of these may not apply to you, but one or two may. So if one step sticks out at you or to you, then write it down. Take this as your own, borrow this, and let this help be a motivator for you. One of the things, I was talking to a client today, and she was talking about how she's lost her momentum, but what is motivating her is her picture in her mind of her mother who passed away a couple years ago in her 80s, who was so frail and sick that she just basically just wasted away. Now, that sounds very depressing, doesn't it? However, my client was thinking in her brain, I don't want to be that. I want to be strong. That is one of her why. Her other why, and this is one of mine as well, I want to go have fun and play with my grandkids. I want to be able to get down on the ground, get back up. I want to be able to pick them up and put them in a swing. So reconnecting to your why can be a very big motivator. So I would revisit that. Another thing is that I like to do when I don't have a lot of motivation is to take baby steps or 1% increase. No, I'm not going to make my sourdough einkorn. I'm not going to start my cultured vegetables. I'm not going to start a crazy, a 4-day workout routine. I'm not going to try to read these, 4 books or whatever. No, when I'm in that time, I'm going to set 1% smaller goals. It might be, okay, what are the 2 things I need to do right now and I'm not motivated? I need to eat well. I need to move my body. Okay, what's the baby step? Well, I'm going to use some pre-planned menus that I have. Okay, wonderful. And then I'm going to order some groceries. Oh, wonderful. Then I'm going to ask for help from my teenage boys to help me implement that. Okay, wonderful. That's a baby step for food. What about movement? Hey, I'm just going to walk every day. If I'm not motivated, I'm going to walk every day, and I may have a non-negotiable. So I don't really necessarily answer to my feelings. If I'm not motivated, I'm going to walk every day and maybe do 1 day of weight training that week. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just going to go ahead and show up for my 2 days. It's like, okay, Chris, you're going to do a 20-minute workout on this day, and you're going to do a 40-minute workout on this day. And you're not going to ask yourself if you want to do this or not, because you're going to say no, but we're going to do it anyway. That's all I'm doing. And I'm walking in between. Whereas maybe other days I'm playing pickleball, or I'm doing yoga, or I'm doing my new P-Volve. So you see how we're setting small achievable goals that can help you get back into your mojo. Another thing is we want to focus on the wins, non-scale or scale wins. Focus on what you're doing well. Focus on what's going right. Focus on how you're showing up for yourself. Every little thing that you can think of. Focusing on those wins really changes your brain. It changes chemicals in your brain. It can actually help you create some mental motivation. Think about what you're thankful for. Oh, I'm so thankful for my body that I can even get up out of bed this morning. I'm so thankful for my breath. I may be unmotivated to go do anything for me, but I am thankful for these feet that are taking me to the bathroom right now. I'm thankful for my hot water and my shower. Love the shower. I'm thankful for my white fluffy towels. And I'm telling you, it will change your perspective. Another thing is sometimes we need to reassess and adjust your plan. Are you in a season of transition? Do you have some pretty overwhelming circumstances going on? We might just need to really go back to the basics. What are the basics here? We may need to adjust. You may need to take some things off the plate that you're working on, and maybe you just focus on one or two things until that season has moved on. Another thing is practicing self-compassion. Even if you're unmotivated, that's okay. I love me. We're okay. I'm human. Humans get unmotivated sometimes, but I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm just going to say, hey girl, it's okay. Let's be unmotivated for a little bit, but let's keep showing up with these 1% steps, right? I just went through a season where I was just so low energy, and I was experiencing some health issues over the last couple years and some very traumatic circumstances with one of my children. And for 3 months, I felt like my battery was dead. Like I can't even describe to you the fatigue I was feeling, the just not being able to move my body, just hitting a wall, the joint pain, the body aches I was experiencing. It was just so overwhelming. And when I started feeling that way, I started to get panicky about it. Like, what is wrong? And of course, I didn't know what was wrong. Went to my naturopath doctor, and we were working on some things. I had a root canal. I had some surgery that I had, and we never did really get to the bottom of it until kind of fast forward. But those 3 months, I didn't know how long it was going to last. That's the thing. I started and I said, this is the season right now, and this is what I'm not doing anymore. And I called everybody and told my kids, I told my friends, I'm not going out for dinner. I'm not meeting anybody in the evening times for any reason whatsoever, because I was just exhausted. I'm probably not make my big meals on Sundays like I always do. You guys are going to have to bring some food. I may have to go rest for a little bit, or I may have to go be by myself or whatever. It wasn't even that I wanted to do all that. It was that I just had to. And I decided I'm off work, or I'm off whatever. And my goal is restoration. I'm going to do whatever I can to get to restoration. And it took me 3 months. I was not motivated to do anything, but I knew, okay, you need to do these certain things. So I kept in walking. That was huge. I did not keep in my weight training. It was too much. It was probably working my cortisol too much. I was going to bed early. I was not watching certain shows or whatever. I was only putting good things in my brain. And I was saying no when I needed to. That was huge. That was a time in my life where motivation was never there, but I was still able to show up a little bit. And guess what? Motivation came back. Health came back. It's just a season. And so waiting for that motivation to happen, sometimes it's not going to. But these are some things that you can do. So you're going to practice the self-compassion. Like, hey girl, I got you. It's okay. We're going to be back up. Don't know when, but I got you. And lastly, I like to think about and prioritize the rest and recovery. I don't feel like women in midlife do that enough. I feel like sometimes we get unmotivated because we're burnout. Maybe you're not caring for yourself as well. Maybe you're not giving yourself recovery time. Maybe you're not having self-care, taking care of you. Are you taking care of you? Like, that's where we get burnout and unmotivated. So take a look at that. Are you giving yourself what you need? Are you asking for what you need? Do you even know what you need? And I know a lot of you are like, oh, I can't because I'm taking care of my parents and I'm taking care of this and I have 11 children. And, I get it. I have 9 children. I have a full-time job. I have grandkids. I have people in my life. I mean, I'm with you there. I have circumstances. I have a son we're working on some issues with him. I mean, same thing, but I have prioritized taking care of myself as much as I can. It may look a little different than what your brain would want it to look like, but what can you do to take care of yourself? Now's the time to do that. And here's what I want to say. So many of you don't even think you're worth it. When I start talking to you on the phone and you're crying because you're not taking care of yourself, and you're like, I finally just need to start taking care of myself. How about we start taking care of ourselves? Not finally, like we start when we're 20, when we're 30, when we're 40, when we have babies, now I'm looking at the resources that are out there that weren't there for me, and I'm not complaining, but like now, when a woman has a baby, now she goes into pelvic health therapy. Well, praise the Lord. Finally, somebody is seeing that we need a little bit of help over here. We're in transition in so many different areas of our life, and there are support. Finding a support group. That's why I love the group coaching that I offer. I have a free group and I have group coaching, and I want to support you guys in this. I do a Marco Polo Tribecast where I invite people to that, where I'm helping support you in your season. We need to get that support from each other and to hear you're okay, and it's okay for you to prioritize yourself. It's okay for you to take care of yourself. It's really important for you to recover. We need more recovery now than we ever have. We can run as hard as we want to. We have such a different gear in this season of life, but we need to treat our bodies differently. And so bringing it back to whether you're motivated or not, here's the good news. You can still make good choices, even if you're not motivated. Hello, friends. I'm so excited to share this with you. My Midlife Strong 12 Days of Fitness program is here, and it's perfect for the busy midlife woman who wants to stay active and feel amazing through the holidays. For just $27, you'll get 12 days of quick, effective workouts, all under 20 minutes, designed to build strength, boost your metabolism, and help you feel energized and confident. We'll do a mix of strength training, low impact Pilates, mobility, and flexibility, everything you need to feel strong and balanced this season. It's simple, doable, and fun. You don't need fancy equipment, just light weights, a mat, and a little time. So if you're ready to prioritize yourself and finish the year strong, click the link and let's do this together, friend. You are going to feel so good.